7-star SAMUROTT raids are quickly approaching, and continuing the tradition, we're going to take a look at a build today that gives the Scarlet players the advantage. So let's take a look at how to build the ultimate Flutter Mane to demolish SAMUROTT the Unrivaled. Alright, and obviously if we're going to make the ultimate Flutter Mane build, we need a Flutter Mane to start off with. So, we're going to start off our adventure tonight by going to Area 0 and starting at the 0 gates. And to catch Flutter Mane in Scarlet is pretty easy. Now if you have Violet, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because you're going to have to trade, but I'll put the code on the screen for you to be able to try this out. I make no guarantees as always, but with this one, there's a pretty good chance you'll find one. So we're going to make it to Area 0, we're going to yeet ourselves off of the ledge over here down into the Abyss. And once we've officially yeeted ourselves into the Abyss, we're going to hop on our ride Pokemon, and we're going to make a mad dash for the cave where Roaring Moon spawns. And now that we've officially landed ourselves where we need to be at, we're gonna take off and we're gonna make a mad dash for the cave over here. Now the thing to know about Flutter Mane is that it only spawns in Area 0 at night, so you will have to wait until nighttime to catch this Pokemon. But once we come down here, we enter this cave. We're gonna come right into this big grassy area, or we can find one right here. But as you can see, at nighttime, Flutter Mane spawns are incredibly high rates down here. So all you have to do is just keep running around until you find yourself one. They're pretty easy to find, and then we just gotta catch one. So we'll get this guy right here. And we're gonna chuck a luxury ball at him and hope it sticks. Hey, crit capture, let's go. And just like that, you got yourself a Flutter Mane. Now, unfortunately, it's time for everybody's least favorite part, EVs, IVs, and leveling. So I'll see you guys in a sec. Now that you've caught yourself a Flutter Mane, we're obviously gonna need to start EV, IV, and leveling. So it's time to find yourself a town that has a Chansey supply, and let's get to work. And for me, you should know where it is by now. We're going to Levincia North. So I'll see you guys there. And once you finally made your way to Levincia North, first thing we gotta do is make sure our Flutter Mane's level 100. So we're gonna grab it, put it up at the very top of our party. We're gonna go to our bag. We're gonna use whatever we have. If rare candies, XP candies, it doesn't matter at this point, to get our Flutter Mane to level 100. So we're gonna do just like this. Boom. Flutter Mane's gonna try and learn some moves. We really don't care about those at this point, so you can just forget them. Just like that. And now that we've got that done, you can hop on your ride Pokemon. We're gonna head down the street to Chansey Supply, and let's get ready to spend some money. And once you've made your way into Chansey Supply, we're gonna start a buy. We're gonna go to bulk buy because we're gonna spend a lot of money here, and it's time to buy some stuff. So for our Flutter Mane, we are going to want some very specific EVs here, and they're not the same that we normally have. So we're gonna start off with 252 EVs in our physical defense. So we're gonna need to buy ourselves 25 iron. Then we're also gonna need 252 EVs in our special attack. So we're gonna buy ourselves 25 calcium as well. And with that, we're also gonna wanna make sure that Flutter Mane has a modest nature. So we're gonna go down and grab ourselves a modest mint. Now, with this one, we do need some EVs in HP. We only need 4 though. So if you are out of health feathers at this point, go ahead and buy yourselves 1 HP up just to be on the safe side. And with that, we can do our bulk buy, spend 530,000 Poké Dollars, and now we're ready to hop outside and start building our Flutter Mane. Alright, so if you're like me and you're building your Flutter Mane from scratch, here's exactly how we're gonna start this out. Make sure it's at the top of your party. We're gonna go to our other items bag. We're gonna go and we're gonna find ourselves a modest mint and start there with our build. So we're gonna grab a modest mint, use this on our Flutter Mane. This is gonna up our special attack and lower our physical attack, which is fine because we're not a physical attacker anyway. After that, we're gonna come back up to the top. We are going to start with our iron. We're gonna give Flutter Mane 25 of the iron that we just bought, not 26. Then we're gonna go to our calcium, and we are going to give Flutter Mane 25 of these as well, not 26. Once we've done that, we're gonna come down. We are going to grab our resist feather. We're gonna give Flutter Mane 2 of these guys, thus maxing out our physical defense. We're going to give Flutter Mane 2 genius feathers, thus maxing out our special attack. Just like that. And then once we've done that, we're gonna dump the rest of the EVs that we have available into our HP, and this could either be 4 or 6 depending on how your build is. Mine's gonna be 4, just like so. And once you've done that, Flutter Mane's ready to go. We're gonna come take a look at our Flutter Mane, we go over, we should have max EVs in special attack and physical defense, just like so. And with that, you're ready to go. It's time to go IV train. So I'll see you in everybody's favorite spot in just a second. Before we do that though, I just want to remind everybody that your ability for this one should be photosynthesis. If for some reason it's not, get that taken care of, because that's the ability you're going to need to make this strat work. See you at IVs in just a second. And just like that, we're at everybody's favorite spot. So let's head behind the Poke Center and find our shady friend and get some IV training done. As always, we're going to talk to our shady man in the glasses back here. We're gonna hyper train our Flutter Mane, just like so. And for this one, we're gonna use our normal bottle caps because gold bottle caps don't matter. We are going to IV train everything except our physical attack because we are not a physical attacker. And we're gonna start our training. And once you've got that done, just like so, Flutter Mane is officially built for the most part. And it's time to start thinking about what moves Flutter Mane needs to know. So I'll see you guys in just a second for that. But before we start talking about moves, let's talk about what item your Flutter Mane's gonna need to hold. So we're gonna go to give Flutter Mane an item. We're gonna come over to our other items pocket, and for this build, Flutter Mane is going to need to hold the Shell Bell. And if you don't know what that does by this point, you need to know. Okay, the Shell Bell, anytime you attack and deal damage to your opponent, it restores some of your health. Super useful during 7-star raids, especially when we don't know how hard the attacker is going to hit. With that, let's take a look at moves. All right, and as far as Flutter Mane's moveset goes, here's exactly what it should look like. We're gonna start off with Calm Mind, which is a move that Flutter Mane learns via TM. Then we have Power Gem, which is the only move here Flutter Mane learns by level. And then we have Taunt and Fake Tears, which are both moves that Flutter Mane learns via TM. So you're gonna need to make sure you have some crafting materials for this to build some TMs. But this is what your moveset should look like. And with that, we're done. We're ready to go, so let's talk about the strat and exactly how this build works. But before we do that, we do have one last thing to talk about. We need to change our Flutter Mane's Tera Type. So, as we did before, we're gonna come all the way over to Medali East. We're gonna come to the restaurant that we fought Larry in for the first time. And we're gonna head to the back and we're gonna talk to our favorite chef friend about changing Flutter Mane's Tera Type. So we're gonna come all the way back here. Just like so. Yep, and we're going to change this to a rock Tera Type. So we're gonna use our rock shards. We're gonna select our Flutter Mane. And we're gonna change our Tera Type to rock. Say yes. And just like that, Flutter Mane's Tera Type has been changed to rock, and we're ready to talk about the strat. And ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, the ultimate Flutter Mane to take down 7-star SAMUROTT raids. And it looks a little something like this. Level 100 Flutter Mane, Ghost and Fairy Mane typing, Rock Tera typing, Shell Bell as the held item. We also have max EVs in special attack and defense with a little bit of EVs in HP. All IVs trained except physical attack. Our ability is photosynthesis. We have a modest nature, and our moveset is as follows: Calm Mind, Power Gem, Taunt, and Fake Tears. And that is exactly what your Flutter Mane should look like. So let's talk about how you use this guy real quick. And with that, here's exactly how you're going to use Flutter Mane to show SAMUROTT the Unrivaled who's boss. We're going to hop into a 7-star SAMUROTT raid, and the very first thing you're going to do is use Taunt. And Taunt's going to make it so that SAMUROTT can only use one move for the next 3 turns. For those next 3 turns, you're going to use a combination of Calm Mind and Fake Tears to boost your special attack and defense, and drop SAMUROTT's special defense. How we play these out kind of depends on how the raid works. But after you've done that, you're going to spend the next several turns spamming Power Gem to deal as much damage as you can to SAMUROTT before he puts his shield up. Once he's put his shield up, we're going to Terastallize, and our Rock Tera typing is going to make Power Gem even more effective, meaning that we can chip away at his shield even quicker. And once you've done that, it should be just a matter of spamming Power Gem until SAMUROTT officially goes down. And that's how you're going to use this Flutter Mane to take down SAMUROTT the Unrivaled. So get out there, make the build, and remember, you got this. I believe in you.